Hello everybody, welcome to another Eternal Deck video. Today there was a new expansion that dropped, a bunch of new cards came out, and in particular, one that is incredibly busted. Keelo. So Keelo, Bold Innovator, can pay 2, exhaust, and then sacrifice a unit to find another unit of the same cost, or get one that's bigger for each battle skill that it has. And that is incredible. There's so many things that you can do with it. And so right away I started building things, and like you can do neat stuff with like Ghostblade, because the Exalted, it actually gives the ability to the next thing as well, so you can just kind of chain it together. And this obviously already gets a 3, and if you're getting a 3, then you can stay inside of the colors that you have already, which is, Justice, Primal, Shadow, and you can get Stonepowder, Alchemist, and you get Lifesteal and Revenge, and that can get something that's 2 over that, so you can immediately get, like, Makto, and you can still play all of these, and Makto gets a 7, and you all know what that means. No! Wrong! You're a coward! I'm no coward. I recorded a 14-hour game the other day. I'm still editing that video. I swear it'll come out. I've been editing it for a while. It's 14 hours. So, yeah. Let's go over the deck. We're looking at a deck. I'm not even bothering to interact with my opponent. I probably should, but I don't really care. We're not here to do that. We're just here to combo out as fast as possible. You can probably do things like cut Strategizes and a couple of Immortalizes and just go for a more, like, slays or something like that to have some kind of interaction against your opponent. Not really my jam. Don't really care. We're just trying to go off as fast as possible, because once you start going, there's really not a lot of decks that are going to be able to stop you from doing what you're doing. The idea is that you're going to get Makto out and then give it Echo. If you haven't seen Echo Makto before, it's a classic deck. It led to Elysian Pathfinder getting a nerf. This used to cost 5 and be only 1 time, I believe, maybe 2. And it was way too ridiculous with Makto. And honestly, not even just Makto, but just revenge units in general. The thing is that, like, so here's the way it goes even a lot of the time in this deck. Because as you notice, we've got 36 units. The odds that even if we shuffle a Makto back in after sacrificing it to Keelo, the odds that we necessarily get the Makto aren't actually that high. But if you give it to Piercing Grief or Tock or Stonepowder Alchemist or Crownwatch Press Gang, you still kind of get the same thing. Because what happens is you get Echo Revenge on this, like Stonepowder Alchemist. You play then 2 Stonepowder Alchemists for 6. Then you sacrifice them again to Keelo. Sacrifice one of them, it goes back in. You draw in a couple turns, because you've got, like, Devours and Strategizes, and you can just do a bunch of different ways to try and draw it out, and obviously you can just draw it right away anyways, because of Revenge. You draw it again, you get 2 more copies. Then you get both of those, you draw 2 free cards, you've got another one that's already on the board. Like, you translate 1 Stonepowder Alchemist into 4 cards that are all free and give you another card. Like, it is incredible value. You're not always going to be able to get it really, really consistently where you're going to draw them right away. But with enough, like, Devours and Strategizes and Keelo trying to find new stuff as well. Like, you do it with Tock, and you can get Crownwatch Press Gang to just draw it back for you. It's not that hard, and it is incredibly insane. Obviously, if you do it with Makto, then it just keeps copying itself forever and ever and ever, and you can get, like, 40, 50 copies of Makto in your deck if you want. You can go that insane. And if somebody actually lets you do it. So, what's the rest of the deck? We already showed Ghostblade goes into Stonepowder, Stonepowder goes into Makto, Makto goes into Pathfinder. Other paths, though, are things like Tock goes into Keelo. So you can actually use Keelo to sacrifice Tock to get another Keelo, so you can kind of just do extra value if you feel like you want to go really crazy. You can use Piercing Grief, which goes immediately again into Makto, because it's got 3 abilities. So you can sacrifice that one on turn 4, basically, and just, whoop, there you go, Makto it up. You can get Hero of the People also. Hero of the People is really, really cool with all of these things, obviously, because of the Revenge, Charge, Lifesteal. Revenge, in particular, makes Hero of the People really nasty. So, like, you can Ghostblade into Hero of the People, immediately give it the lifesteal on it and have it be a really nice unit in play instantly. You can, of course, like, Cure the People and then Piercing Grief on turn 5. So you've got other things to do with that as well. You can, like, if you have the Keelo in play already, you can sacrifice, like, a Tock or a Ghostblade and immediately get... Or it's like a Ghostblade and immediately get Stonepowder so that you have the ability on it right away. That's always the downside of Hero of the People, is that you don't necessarily have the abilities to get revenge right away, and you can do that easily in this deck. Crownwatch Press Gang, so it's kind of just an alternate win condition. Crownwatch Press Gang also immediately feeds into Makto. So you notice, like, we've got Stonepowder feeds into Makto, Crownwatch feeds into Makto, Piercing Grief feeds into Makto. And Keelo obviously can just, in the meantime, get a ton of value in a bunch of other ways by just sacrificing things and getting better and better units and new units all the time, shuffling the revenge ones back in. Really, really obscene card. It's incredible how much power this has. And then ultimately you just go for Pathfinder, and whether it gets the actual Makto or whether you get a different revenge unit doesn't really matter. It's still going to be insane. You get the Devours and Strategizes as a little bit of card draw. You want to make sure that you have Strategize because obviously we have no time in the power base. So the idea there is that if you draw an Elysian Pathfinder normally, you just get to shuffle it back into your deck. You don't want to be sitting there with it in your hand. It's a great way to draw extra cards and make sure you don't have extra Pathfinders clogging up your hand. Immortalize is, I think, kind of obvious. It's just a really nice way to buy back a Keelo. It's incredible with any revenge units, so once they die a second time and they've got Destiny, you just get them into play for free, draw an extra card, and if they have Echo, then it gets even worse. So you are able to just kind of chain all those things together and do a ton of value stuff. Like I said, we're not actually even going to worry about interacting with our opponent. We can probably do some stuff that would be better if we decided to, but really this is kind of... It's almost a combo deck. It's really just heavy synergy, but synergy in such a way that there's very little that somebody can actually do to get past how much value you start generating once this goes off. And that's what we're going to try and do here. So we're going to try and dump mad loads of value on some people, and I'm going to jump into some games here and show you this deck.